Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. I come for my friends and to chill with my old homies, not really here for the views. And today I'm joined by the Wakandan ambassador for the United States military, a one Michael Dat Hill.
Soon.
And of course, the officer from the year 9001.
Hey, trademarked in 5 countries.
I think there are some countries that do allow you to trademark numbers. I have no idea how the fuck that would work. That seems so dumb to me. Anyways. Alright, let's get into them topics. Virtual gambling in the current state that it is in is not considered as such in video games, according to the United States of America. However, Grand Theft Auto 5, heralded as one of the highest selling products of all time in history, literally, now has a virtual casino in it. But was then immediately banned in 50 countries after its announcement of that virtual casino. Is there even a way for Americans to win against giant corporations at this point? Or should we just completely give up even trying to bring up the dangers of gambling in video games? I don't think basically, is there a point to us even discussing this shit anymore? Topic 2. I'm going to do a lot of editing today. Topic 3. Choose your own adventure story paths. It's a type of video game format that has become more popular in the last 8 to 10 years due to a runaway success with such titles as The Last of Us Telltale series and Borderlands the Telltale series. Rest in peace, Telltales. If memory serves, your company is now dead. Someone might... Yeah, okay. I was about to say someone Google that because I wasn't sure. However, with the exception of Game of Thrones, there's been almost no novel adaptation into this form of gaming. What are some good books you think will be good for the choose your own adventure style of video game format? And yes, this does include comic books and mangas too. Basically, what paper page turner you want to see get the Telltale treatment. Topic 4. Which genre or type of game do you feel is very underrated and underappreciated in the modern era? Filled to the brim with mobile gaming and, of course, first-person shooters, who do you think is drowning in the sea? And whilst I retype my own version of topic 3, Hill, why don't you start us off?
Alright, topic 1. Do we keep going or we let it die? Right now, as it seems, they're just going to keep sleazing their way through the fact that legislation has no idea what a video game is, because the last video game they played was on the Atari Classic. So trying to get people to understand what people do with loot boxes is not going to help, because right now we're just huffing and puffing, but nothing gets done. And even when other countries ban it, we are the country that just likes to ignore what other people do. I.e., we have Fahrenheit, they use Celsius, we have standard, they use metric. It's just a mess. And then, when DLC should be made, I feel like it should be made towards the end of the development cycle, but not after the game has launched, like with Smash Bros. How when every direct about Smash Bros. Releasing characters is like, alright, we're gonna have 5 fighter passes, this many stages, this just stuff. Like, they kept updating us. It's like, you're gonna get the game, but you will also still get the DLC, but we also had that pre-plan and not, oh, we're missing content, so we gotta sell you the rest of the game that we fucked up on. So that way it doesn't feel like an incomplete game, it just feels like it's a complete game, but here's some other goodness to go into it. Now, what paperback novel or type of thing be great for a Telltale game? The Dot Hack series.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn. It'll probably be better than the games. Damn.
Y'all lose your fucking mind watching your choice make somebody become a lost one. You'd be destroyed. Because those games have way more weight to them than they need to. A lot.
Yeah, I always thought Sword Art Online was gonna be the next dot hack, but literally, I want to say maybe after the 5th episode ever, first thing you learned is that the dude turned into a corporate shield just because they threw money in his face. I'm just sitting up here like, I've never seen a show have so much potential and then lose it so fast. It was like watching the Suicide Squad trailers and then going to see Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
The only reason that they're getting a sequel is because James Gunn is directing.
Hopefully he does better.
I mean, hope. It's James Gunn, goddammit. He's gonna.
Just remove Joker in his entirety.
Exactly.
They literally said they shot so many scenes with Harley and Joker that they could have made their own movie. I'm just like, that means you fucked up!
Yup.
Sorry, continue.
Alright, so topic 4. Games that are going under the radar because we have to have another fucking Battle Royale game or decide to make a popular game into an app game. I say a lot of fighting game and MMOs are getting pretty fucked on right now. It's true you'll have like your small cult following, but like unless you are actually looking for these games, you're not really playing them. Also, a really thing that's just dying is fucking rhythm games. I feel like it's dead. When was the last time you really seen somebody play like DDR or Just Dance in the recent craze of I have to be the last person alive out of the 50 people who joined with me?
I never thought I'd say it, but I almost missed the era of everything is a first-person shooter. At least in that era, shit made a little bit of sense. They're going to try to nickel and dime you by selling you maps, weapon skins, and fucking weapon types and formats. Nah, not with Battle Royale. Your ass is straight up gambling.
Yep. Loot boxes.
All right, officer, you're next.
Alright then. Well, topic 1. Well, unless we can get people in our lawmaking bodies that actually have played video games and know what they're, about, yeah, no, it's basically pointless. Because they're not going to understand it. They're not going to try to understand it. They're just going to listen to what the corporate shill lobbyists tell them to do. So, yeah, it's not going to work. But at the same time, we should still discuss it as a problem. Just not a problem we can solve right now. Topic 2. I think for something that like something they're implementing into the game that they didn't quite have enough time to finish before release, I think that's okay to have as like shortly after release DLC. But for the most part, I usually prefer the DLC come like maybe a month or so after release, rather than, day one stuff, because usually when I see that kind of stuff, it to me looks like, oh, so are you trying to subtly tell us that this is what you cut out of the game intentionally? Because it kind of looks like that, people.
when would you make the DLC if you were running the company? At what point would you decide to make it?
Yeah, if it's something that I couldn't fit, that that was being put into the game but couldn't quite be finished for release, I would be fine with releasing that as like a week after release DLC, or possibly a little bit later, depending when it gets finished. But for stuff that is adding more content to the game that wasn't, part of the initial development cycle, I would say at least a month or two after release.
Interesting.
All right, topic 3. I mean, I'm probably going to get a big duh for this, but Lord of the Rings?
No, you're not going to get a big duh.
Oh. Because I thought that'd be, like, pretty obvious for a good one to turn to that.
Yeah, it's so obvious. They made a little game called Dungeons and Dragons themed after Lord of the Rings. So really, you can't get more choose your own adventure than Lord of the Rings Dungeons and Dragons.
I suppose.
It didn't suck, don't get me wrong, but your answer was very predictable.
That's why I said I'm going to get a duh from this. But anyway, topic 4, real-time strategy. I have not seen a real-time strategy game come out in a rather long time. It is... I remember, I think it was Blizzard, in a supposedly leaked thing, did a statement of, hey, so, yeah, the real-time strategy genre is basically dead. And Fire Emblem is turn-based strategy, not real-time strategy. When I say real-time strategy...
Real-time is not the genre. The genre is strategy. The subgenre is real-time. Because real-time is not a genre. It is an abstract concept. Also, XCOM 2.
Okay, then I'll just mention a subgenre I feel is, you said genre or type of game. Real-time strategy is a type. Anyway, yeah, I can only think of the most recent one being StarCraft 2. But, yeah. I feel like real-time strategy is very lacking these days, but I can't really think of, other than maybe a few of like really big budget action games like God of War, Assassin's Creed, and Devil May Cry 5, there haven't really been a whole lot in the way of action games, though. Then again, there's also a bunch of them, slated coming out soon. What was that one that Platinum Games is working on right now?
That's called Astro Chain. Most of the things they make are action games, and Assassin's Creed is one of those things I've never been able to figure out. I think Assassin's Creed is an adventure game, but it's really hard to tell with them because they say, or they proud to pretend that they're an RPG, but I can never tell if they're an RPG or an adventure game.
Yeah, it is kind of a mix of that. But another genre that I think has been dead for a long time now that could use a bit of revitalization could be puzzle games.
Candy Crush.
Isn't that a mobile game?
And unfortunately, it's stupid popular. They make billions of dollars a year, and I wish I was joking. God, it's so depressing.
They did a movie like Angry Birds too.
Dude, they made fucking a Marvel puzzle RPG game. I'm just like, how the fuck is this a thing? You have to fucking play a puzzle just to walk? What?
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
Yeah, I don't understand how a puzzle RPG makes sense. If you had an RPG game that was entirely, the entire gameplay, featurette, and mechanic system was in the vein of puzzles, I get that. Totally understand that. But when your character gets to a random encounter and it turns to a puzzle game, oh my God, I want to jump off a high building.
Well, that's about it for me, really.
All right, gotcha. All right, I guess that just leaves my ass. All right, so as far as topic one, look, I know it kind of sort of goes without saying for us, but the 0.3 of an eighth of a person who listens to these podcasts besides us, they don't know, but I come up with 99%, and that's not even a joke, of the topics on this podcast. Even though I say it's an open field and other people can submit shit, which would give me less time to have to look into other shit. But that aside, we've only technically talked about legislative level virtual gambling 3 times. And I already think it's a hopeless battle. Every other country, and apparently Hawaii knows gambling is gambling. Making a small distinction of it's not physical money is stupid. Oh, but you can't win money, so it's not gambling. It's like, you made simulated gambling. If I get into a car and I drive it and crash it, I can die or someone else can die. If I get into a simulated car and I drive and crash it, I can virtually die or someone else can virtually die. But I still crashed the car, did I not? But you know, it's kind of sad really, because the way video games have been viewed on the political stage, at least in America, is so few and far between, and dealing with people so ancient and purposely, willfully ignorant of basic pop culture shit that their children deal with, or really their grandchildren. You can't even tell if a fucking like person is being paid off in an American court. They could literally just not know shit because they don't give a fuck until somebody pays them to block proper legislation and administration. I honestly believe that half these people who talk to these game company representatives, they don't actually know how shit works. We got lucky with the Hawaiian governor or mayor. I don't know. We got lucky with him. Real lucky.
Like winning the lottery lucky.
Yeah, like seriously. He not only didn't need to be told about it, saw it himself and tried to pass legislation. Now, as far as topic 2, now I might have a lot to say about this one, or, you know, it's a short podcast, I might not. But this is something that you all know very well that I wrestle with on a personal level because, you know, I'm technically a baby developer. I'm on my first title. I know, based on how I'm doing my publishing, I don't have a publisher deadline I need to meet. I don't. Because if I go to a publisher, it'll be overseas and I'll wait till my product is complete. You know? That's what I would do. So, I think, from a personal level, hypothetically, if there was some easy to produce or fun to make shit that my team wanted to do and it could be done, but I knew that it would be extremely time consuming to the point where we might lose funding or run out of money for some other part of the game. You know, I'm very budget conscious. Normally in Hollywood, that means cheap, but not in the video game world. That means, look, you will make a bare bones game before you add before you put in bells and whistles. So that way there's something to go with the fucking bells and whistle, you know? I think what I would do is I would plan for everything under the sun. But within that plan, there's the base product. And everything outside of the base product is extra. You know? So what I would do, all bullshit aside, is fucking... I would, for example, if I want to make a game with 3 characters playable, but the way the budget is going, I'm only going to have money for 2. Hey, I'm going to have to have 86 number 3. But after that's done, if the game is successful, the game makes money. Because I think I mentioned this only like one time 2 or 3 years ago for independent developers, but this also applies to me. When you release a title digitally, you don't actually have to make a lot of sales. For a physical game to be, you know, to make a profit or to break even, on average, now this is old information, so don't quote me on this. It used to be, I'll say it, leave that there. It used to be somewhere around you need to sell 500,000 physical copies in every market it's in. Something around that, you know? But if you're independent, we're just going by USD format of currency. If I sold as low as 20,000 units at the original digital distribution price, based on the money that would come back to me after taxes and, you know, everybody getting their little fee cut, we're looking at something close to over $70,000. And that could work. So the way I look at it, I would say at a bare minimum, I'm not going to plan for fancy shit. I'm going to make the game bare bones, refine it, retool it, pay attention to it, because the easiest way to increase the amount of bugs and glitches you have in your game is to pay attention to everything except the game. Oh, let's give this money to promoters. Let's give this money to marketers. Let's make day 1 DLC bullshit. Okay, well, the base game crashes and corrupts your hard drive if you get past chapter 3. You know, just for example.
Yeah.
So that's how I think I would do it. Now, as far as topic 3, for me, for topic 3, I would say, you know, just to cash in on it, but also to cheapen your workload, I would fucking do Telltale series on The Witcher. But it'll specifically be post-Witcher. Because remember, Geralt dies middle-aged. He doesn't die young, he doesn't die old, he dies middle-aged. So make the story about that really scary witch that I think is his ex-wife. I'm not really sure. The one with the black hair. But, make the story about her. Trying to finish what he started. Maybe there was some big threat he couldn't get to, or he didn't kill the right way, so it's trying to come back for him, only to find out he's dead. But now you got to decide, do you want to go after him and still kill him? Or do you want to stay and just help the recovery effort, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Shit like that. So, that's my first choice. My second pick, fucking X-Men. All day, all night. Fucking X-Men.
Na, 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 na.
You goddamn right. You've heard my text message ringtone. So, and you don't have to make it about one specific X-Men. You can make it a revolving main characters type format. Episode 1, Psylocke. Why? Because I want people to build up to getting what they want. We know you want Wolverine. We know you want Cyclops. We know you want Jean Grey. But did you earn them? And then, you know, make sure there's some big giant fight sequence twice. One for the individual character and another one for the group as a whole. And you can make that story do so many things. You can make it go the political route. Like, here's the X-Men in Congress trying to fight for rights, trying to basically answer for questions that they didn't do. You know, like every other person who ever got accused of doing something that they didn't do. Like the video game industry. You're the reason people shoot up schools. Like, no, bitch. No, the fuck we're not. Why would you even suggest that? Because a politician said it? Oh, well, yeah, because they're known for telling the truth, motherfucker. Like everybody in politics is Bernie. Fuck out of here. So, or then alternatively, or when you get to like chapter 4, here comes Wolverine, because one of the legislators called in the Sentinel because it's actually Mystique. So now you have to slave as many politicians as possible, and if you save them, you get an alternate story path. But if you kill, if even one of them dies, different shit happen. So many ways you can do things. Excuse me, sorry. Something in my throat, but not sick. That's what I would love that. I would pay for every single piece of DLC and season pass and pay to take their mama to the dentist to go get some new dentures. If they made a X-Men story, choose your own adventure type shit like that, best believe me when I say that will be the first game where I willfully bought every single piece of DLC. And I'm not joking. I can see my PS4 list. There is no game on this earth that has ever made me buy every single piece of DLC or got me to do it. Not even Smash Bros. Fuck you, Piranha Plant. It's not, that Piranha Plant is literally the equivalent of making garbage a character. Nobody asks for garbage. When you see it, you try to get rid of it. But you know what? I'm not going to get started on that fucking plant. Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. U.S.A. So yeah, those are my primary two. Also, because I'm a big fan of it, Cowboy Bebop and Blade Runner. Fun fact about that. The new animated Blade Runner show being made by the director and creator of Cowboy Bebop.
Yep, Shinichiro Watanabe.
New comic just came out last month. Go ahead and pick it up. Blade Runner 2019, I believe, is the name of it. Now, as far as topic 4, there are a lot of genres I feel like are underrated. But as far as, you know, that combination of underrated and underappreciated, everyone's always going to say the fast-paced type action game, which no one can decide the name of. But let's just say games that play like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta and Ninja Gaiden. Now, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but if you go and look at their release schedules, they'll have maybe 1 or 2 games that come out with a small time window. And then when they get on to like a 3rd or a 4th, there's an insanely stupid giant wait gap. Devil May Cry 4, the Devil May Cry Special Edition, the remake of Devil May Cry 4, was damn near 8 years? 2008 to 2015. Somebody do the math on that. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition going into 5. 4 years. Still too damn long for that type of game. Bayonetta 1 going into Bayonetta 2. Jesus Christ, what was that, like 6.5 years?
Yeah.
And going from 2 to 3, which might come out this year, and I stress the term might come out this year. No, it ain't gonna come out this year. I mean next year. It's probably gonna come out in the middle of next year because nobody wants to run into Final Fantasy VII. Except maybe Blade Runner. With the exception of Blade Runner, nobody wants to send to Final Fantasy VII. So when it comes out, it will have at a bare minimum been almost a whole nother 6 years. Hey, somebody look up real quick, when did Bayonetta 2 first come out? Anybody?
Looking it up now. 2014.
Bayonetta 2 was 2014. So that means that 2020, if that's when the game's projected to launch, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 6 years, almost 6 years again. The fuck? Now, don't get me wrong. A sequel just because there's a new year has always been a stupid concept for me. Looking at you, Madden FIFA Gamble Edition. But at the end of the day, if you know you made a good product and people want to see more of it, and you want to sell it and you're good at it and you like it, you make a new product. Or you get somebody else to do it. Hideo Kojima, I don't want to do any more Metal Gears after Metal Gear 2. Then they say, okay, we're going to give you a bigger budget for 3. Oh, this will be the best and biggest one I make. I want to make Metal Gear Solid 3. And that'll be it. Okay, well, guess what, bitch? You're doing 4 and 5. Bitch, just put somebody else in charge. If you don't like it so much, put someone else in charge. Fuck. That is so stupid. But I'm not going to get into that because if we talk Metal Gear issues, we'll be here all day. Especially since I'm the one who actually plays this shit and I understand how eccentric that man is. He is not an auteur. He's just eccentric. There's a big difference. Also, more than a little bit of a coward. Put that aside. Third-person shooters. Because with the exception of, what's that game you always play, Hill? In space?
Space Online 2? Warframe?
Warframe, yeah. With the exception of Warframe, which I don't know what you would call that control setup, but with the exception of Warframe, fucking, if you stop and think about it, third-person shooters almost got eradicated into nothingness, or they got regulated into just being, you know, the main mode of combat, not really a full genre, just based on everything that went down in like 2004 to now. Third-person shooters became cheap and easy to produce, and some of the best games that happened in the past 15 years were all third-person shooters. Resident Evil 4, Uncharted as a series. Uncharted is an adventure game, but the entire combat is third-person shooter. But I guess I want to see the return of third-person action in general. So that means you get your Uncharted, you get your Devil May Cry's, because no matter what happens, they're underrated and underappreciated. That's why people make combo videos for fucking 10 years at a time. Because we don't get new shit to play. Transformers was nice, but everyone said it was too simple. It was fun, but it was too simple. Other than that, I'm going to piggyback on Matt's real quick. Strategy games as a whole. Because there's Civilization, there's Fire Emblem, and there's XCOM. And can't nobody name shit outside of those three. Oh wait, StarCraft. Yeah, StarCraft. Forget about StarCraft.
StarCraft and the Total War series.
But see, that's it though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Over 100 games come out on consoles. A triple-digit number of games come out every year. Now I can promise you that if you look up the list, strategy games will be near the bottom of how many came out. They just naturally are that way. Also, even though he hinted at it in that not Siphon Filter, what was it? The other guy, the Sam Fisher one. Shit, what is that one called? Damn it. Oh yeah, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell series, which is a stealth action adventure game, or stealth adventure, whatever you want to call it. That character is in a DLC for another game that apparently no one likes, called Tom Clancy's Wildlands or something like that. And he mentions that every single body else has retired or is missing. And that, oh shit, I'm the only one left. That's not a joke though. As far as stealth games go, for no reason at all, the name of Tenchu was not used for the Sekiro Heroes Die Twice game. And the DLC for Siphon Filter, damn it, I keep wanting to say Siphon Filter, Splinter Cell in that new Outlands Tom Clancy game. All you got is Hitman. You had Metal Gear, but it looks like it's over. See, there's a difference between a game that has a stealth episode, if you will, or a stealth section in it versus a game that inherently has stealth as your primary mode of entertainment and interactivity. Metal Gear was a pioneer. Splinter Cell was an innovator. Hitman is a staple, but only Hitman is left. That ain't fair. You don't have to make the same type of stealth game. You don't have to make person sneaks in the building to steal something and leaves. You ain't got to do that. Why can't I be a human who sneaks around giant robot mechas, and if I'm lucky, I can hack into one to fight?
I mean, you say that actually, but that reminds me, Warframe, basically all the missions do have stealth as a option that gives, at least from what I'm told, pretty good rewards if you can do it stealth.
No, this ain't just an option. There are missions where if I get caught there, we're fucked.
That's cool.
Well, yeah. That's why I said for every mission it's an option. For some, it's, well, the only way.
Can you stick to the walls in Warframe?
Yes, you can. And you can run along them too.
Yeah.
What about the ceiling?
No.
Every fucking time. They always do that. They let you run on a fucking wall, or they give you a character that can stick to walls, but for some reason the motherfuckers can never go on the ceiling. It's like only Spider-Man is allowed to do that for some reason. What the fuck? Think about it. All the games you play where someone can run on the wall or stick to a wall. Spider-Man's like the only one that can go on the ceiling, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. I don't understand why that's a thing. Anyways. But yeah, y'all see my point.
Yeah.
Stealth is... There's never been a point in time where stealth was king, and let's not lie. But the way I look at it, stealth was always the cool kid that lived next door that was a little bit older than you. You know? You saw him drive a car first. If your parents would ask him to, he would pick your ass up from school and shit, and you'd be the coolest kid for like a couple days. That's what stealth was. Now, stealth is the deadbeat dad whose wife ran out on him. What the fuck? Everyone acts like they don't want to be around him. No matter how much money and popularity he can get, everyone's just like, oh, I'm just here temporarily because I don't trust you. I just want to abuse you and use your shit. Blah, 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 blah. But anyways, fucking, those are my two picks. All right. With that being said, Hill, you got any closing statements?
As one game comes out, another will follow.
This is true. What about you, officer?
Let's hope the one that follows is Konami. Also, fuck Konami.
Waiting for that one. Been a while since I heard it. With that being said, this has been another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. On Time Edition. I will see you guys when I see you.